Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So, I literally just deleted a video that I wanted to tell y'all, and then I changed my mind because I put too much of my past into the live. And maybe one day, when I'm famous enough, I can probably do the whole reason of why I am the way I am. And maybe somebody will like it, and maybe somebody won't. But I deleted it because I talked about the things I did as a 6-year-old childhood street fighter. You know, the only reason why I deleted it was because there are some things that you just don't need to know, or there are some things that I probably just shouldn't share. It depends on how you want to look at it. Or maybe it's something that I can share after I become famous, or it will be something that might come back to bite me in the ass once I become famous. If people start coming out the woodwork and start saying, "You remember when you beat my ass?" And I'm probably not gonna remember it, but that's why I deleted it, because you put too much of your own evidence out there, and you could be your own worst enemy. So I deleted that video. But understand stuff. We all have a past, and we all have to learn how to live with it and accept it, or we all have to wait for it to come back to bite us in the ass. The choice is yours. I only had to make that video because I had a moment of weakness in the shower, and I wanted to talk about it. I got it off my chest, and then I deleted it. No. So this will be the only video I'm making tonight. So I apologize to y'all for deleting the video. But like I said, there's just some things that you just probably shouldn't share. No matter how much you guys love me or whatever, there are some things I just need to keep to myself. And the only reason is, people remember. People remember who beat them up. They might not want to go back after them, but they remember who beat them up. Which was another thing that I talked about in the video, about how anybody that I've ever beaten up has never come back for a second round. Even if I lost a sparring match, the person that I sparred with never came back for a second round. Talked a lot of shit, but never came back for a second round. And funny thing, I will give y'all this part, because we were talking about this up the street today. I was talking about how my late cousin had a friend from New York who knew martial arts. So sit back. And I may have told y'all this before, but I don't know. And if I did, I'm sorry. So we're just going to give you the long and short of today's conversation. We're talking about a lot of things I did until this thing showed up in my memory banks and I had to get it off my chest. So my family always seemed to talk a lot of shit and always kept threatening me and shit. So they got a guy from New York because he was their friend and he does martial arts. So we had a sparring match. Again, I lost that sparring match. I have no problem saying that I lost that sparring match. Now, after losing the sparring match, I was back the next day. And the next day. And the next day. I chased this guy for almost 2 weeks. I might have chased him for 2 weeks. I can't really remember, but I know I chased him for a long time to get that rematch. I'm old school, y'all. The way I see it, if you beat my ass the first time, you shouldn't have a problem beating my ass again if you are as good as you think you are. If I can lose gracefully, but don't think I won't be coming back for that revenge. Now, the only way I won't come back is if you, take off my arms and my legs. If you, Anakin Skywalker the shit out of my ass, then I won't be coming back. Because we don't have that technology. So if you cut all this off and chop me off at the knees, yeah, I'm not coming back. It's done. Because it's nothing I can do. I don't have the force, so there's nothing I can do to get cybernetic parts or any of that shit. No, I'm done. You really won that one. But I came back. And this guy would not spar with me. Ever the hell again. And it's like, nah, motherfucker, you supposed to be a badass, You beat me. You shouldn't have a problem doing it again. But he understood the one thing that I understood. He woke up a sleeping dragon. And when you wake up a sleeping dragon, it's hard to put that motherfucker back in the egg. Because sometimes you can't. I'm not a Pokemon. Once I'm free, I'm unleashed. The world is mine. Fire breathing, ice breathing, eye beams, I'm going to bring that shit to you. So, a couple of years went by. And my cousin got unalived by somebody who shot him like a dog in the street. This same kid that would not spar with me wanted to fight me. Now, I was at work when my cousin got killed. In fact, I'm pretty sure it wasn't too long after that I got fired from Burger King. But I was at work the night he got killed. Alright? And when we buried him, this asshole from New York decides he wants to talk shit to me. Now I'm going to tell you how fucked up life is. Everyone in my cousin's crew always flash firearms at me. Lift up their shirt, show me the handle of their gun, and talk all that bullshit. We'll fuck you up this and we'll fuck you up that. And I was like, y'all big men as long as you got a gun on you. But the funny, when my cousin died, none of his cousins and my brother, they were all there. None of them had a gun. Funny how you flash at that family, but when you need it, you don't have that motherfucker. That's why you never let your guard down. Ever. That's why when people laugh at me when they see me sleeping with one eye open, I say, hey man, I'm overly paranoid. I learned how to sleep with one eye open as a child. It's not a fun thing, y'all, because I can still see shit. It's kind of why I have to cover my head up when I go to sleep, so that I can only see the blackness of this blanket. Because other than that, I'm going to see everything. Yes, sometimes I still sleep with one eye open. I really did it in the military. I'll get to that in a minute. So, we at the church. Kids talking all that shit. How he's going to fuck me up. He's going to fuck me up. He's going to fuck my shit up. He's going to beat my ass. He's going to beat the brakes off my shit. Because I wasn't there. Now, mind you, I just told you, everybody else that keeps flashing firearms at me, they were there. But this asshole, he zooms in on me. You know, he literally can pick nobody else on the fucking planet but me. Yeah. I'm about to brush my teeth, in case y'all wondering what the hell the alcohol and the stuff was for. Clean off my toothbrush before I use it. Clean off my toothbrush after I use it. Same thing with my water pick. Okay, so he didn't want to say shit to everybody that was there. Mind y'all, we in church. I'm not gonna fight the man on church grounds, but I ain't got a problem fighting him at home. He knew where I lived. I said, okay, here's what's gonna happen. I live at 512 Rougemont. I'm gonna go change out of these good looking clothes, and I'm gonna be waiting for you. What I didn't know was that he was gonna follow behind me. Except for he hit 64 or 81 and went north. He ain't come nowhere near Rougemont. And I'm sitting out here in one of these chairs, you know, the kind that they used to hit Stone Cold with. I'm sitting out there in one of those chairs, waiting for this motherfucker. I done changed into my little parachute pants and a t-shirt. It's like, if I'm gonna get to fighting, I'm gonna be in something I can move in. Got my little tennis shoes on, ready to go. I'm just sitting there. Missed the episode of Reboot. In fact, it was the final episode of Reboot, the one where they start singing and everything, and I'm sitting in the yard waiting for this motherfucker. Sun is still up above our head. We got plenty of light. He gone. I don't know it. He gone. Now I got home at 4:45. Changed my clothes. 5 o'clock I was outside. Come 11:30 at nighttime, everybody that he was chilling with at the church roll up. So I'm like, alright, we gonna fucking fight. Crack my knuckles. I'm like, where y'all boy at? Where he at? He go change clothes or what? Because he ain't been here yet. It's like, he left when you left. I said, well, he ain't here. Where the fuck he at? He talked all that shit. Oh, he went back up to New York. So let me get this straight. This motherfucker talked all this shit. And he wanted to really fight me. But he went back to New York. I said, yeah, man. He was mad as hell, but he went back up to New York. I said, oh. So basically, he just bitched out. You know, all that shit everybody be talking about, how he beat my ass, he beat my ass, he beat my ass in that little sparring match. And now, y'all ain't got nothing to say, right? He bitched out, right? Say, man, you ain't got to do that. I said, nah, this motherfucker started the shit at the church. He needed to be man enough to finish the challenge. You started the challenge, finish the challenge. Be a man. So he never came back. In fact, he has not even come back near Virginia since that shit, to my knowledge. So, I don't think nothing else about it until my cousins, brother, and cousins started bragging about this dude becoming an ISK kickboxing champion. Now I'm mad, because I couldn't even get a job at ISK when I was like 20 years old, because they didn't have a phantom weight or a super lightweight, because I ain't weigh shit, ranking system. ISK is pretty old. I was 19, 20, between 93 and 94, somewhere in there. And they wouldn't give me a job. UFC wouldn't give me a job. ISK wouldn't give me a job. Rec wouldn't give me a job. Rec became Havoc. One championship didn't exist at the time. Shoot fighting was over because that shit got banned. So I can get a job. So anyway, I'm ready to fight. Motherfucker never show up. They explained to me. They're begging and telling me how much this motherfucker's a champion, this and a champion. I was like, yeah, but he's not a champion. I said, how you figure he ain't a champion? Because that one fight that we did not have, he started. Said when you make a challenge and you don't show up for the challenge that you made, you lose. How dare y'all tell me how much of a champion this motherfucker is when he started a fight with me and wouldn't come fight me? So the reason why I brought that up is because after that, and before that, and during that, everybody kept basing on me about how this guy beat my ass. And then I did the one thing that most smart people don't think about doing, because most people don't think before their emotions take over. It's like, yeah, he beat your ass this, he beat your ass that. And then I hit him with this. I said, well, ask yourself this. Who's the real fighter? The guy that's got to go get somebody who knows what that person whose ass you want to kick know? Or the guy who stands there and takes that beating, rather he can fight that motherfucker or not? I said, y'all motherfuckers went and got him. Y'all couldn't beat me. So y'all had to go get some damn body else. There's a glitch in this video. I said, so you tell me, who's the real fighter? Me? The guy who was willing to take that ass whipping? Or the 4 bitches that decided we gonna have to go get somebody else? But y'all gangster. Y'all's from New York. Ain't where you from. It's what the fuck you can do. So, not too long after my cousin got into the grave, the 4 individuals in which I speak of is all family. 2 of them are my cousin, and one of them is my brother, and the other one is their cousin. So we all family. Even if he ain't blood related, he's still family because he's related to my relatives. So we count him. And so one night, because I'm mentally fucked up. I was mentally fucked up then. I'm a lot better now. So my brother from my mother, and my cousin's brother and his cousin was in the back, while his nephew came up to me with a 45. This is like a handgun. I'm saying it's a 45 because I'm not really sure. But he pointed it at me, and the cherry bomb went off. Now when he pointed at me, he expected me to run, which fucked him up because I didn't. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna fucking shoot you right here, right now. You gonna be joining Jimmy. I said, knock yourself out. He said, cause can't none of y'all motherfuckers beat me. You gotta be the bitch nigga and you gotta shoot me. I said, you can't fight with for fuck. That's why y'all have guns, cause y'all can't fucking fight. So shoot me. Shoot me. Now, I'm gonna lie. When that cherry bomb went off, I didn't shit on myself. But I was scared as fuck that I got shot, cause I've never been shot before. I started doing this. I'm one of them individuals, yo. I'm literally one of them individuals. My fight level can go from 0 to 60, back to 0, and back to 60, and then it'll hit that whole 1,000. So I'm like, oh, this motherfucker done shot me. So I'm looking for the entry rule, right? I ain't thinking I should probably be dropping dead, because I'm short, and he was a little taller than me, but he was younger. And he pulled the trigger, it won't nothing in there. But that was a blessing from God that it won't nothing in there. So thank you, Lord. But I'm doing this number. And I look at him and realize he missed at point blank range. And I went to grab his ass. I said, oh, fuck, no, you did not miss me at point blank range. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I said, we supposed to be family and you gonna shoot me in the motherfucking streets. And I went to go grab that motherfucker. There weren't no bullets in the gun. He probably was wishing there was some in there. When I went to grab him, my younger brother, our cousin who passed, brother, and his cousin, come running around that house quick, fast, in a motherfucking hurry. It's a joke. It's a joke. Don't do it. It's a joke. I said, you fucking want a joke? You joke with somebody who can't fight. You joke with somebody who's not scared of death. And you're going to get dead. I said, well, you supposed to be scared. I said, hey, fear don't always work the same with everybody. I said, I was scared, but I'm not going by myself. If I can still move after you shoot me, you coming with me. So if you don't put it to the head, you coming with me. They never fucked with me no more after that. They never fucked with me no more after that. They learned one very, very important lesson. Don't matter where you from. Everybody don't work the same. Everybody ain't scared when they outnumbered. I've been outnumbered all my motherfucking life. Why am I supposed to be scared of y'all? Because y'all outnumber me. The only thing y'all can do is jump me. And if you're going to jump me, you better not make a mistake. It's just that simple. You make one mistake, that tide of battle is going to turn. And I'm going to fucking win. But when the tide turns, I'm not giving you mercy. I will mercy you and send you to Jesus. But you asked for that shit. And ain't no cop in the land gonna hold me in jail that long for me slaughtering 4 dudes. Be all black. It'll be a black on black crime, but at the end of the day, when they run out fingerprints and they run out weapons, they'll be like, alright, well, Echo here, he got a couple speeding tickets. They're gonna run their records through the FBI. The guy that had put the gun on me, been in juvie forever. And after he got old enough to go to jail, a gun got him in trouble when he went to jail. And he still can't stay the fuck out of trouble. Till this day. Some people just don't understand that, you can't keep fucking up. Sooner or later, you're going to get fucked up. So, after that, they never bothered me again. They never brought up that kung fu sparring match. None of that shit. And I told them, say, this is the difference between a fucking person who can fight and a fucking coward. I say, I'm a coward that can fight. Get that shit twisted. I got a reputation for martial arts, so running is not really an option. Now that I got a hip replacement, running is not a fucking option. I'm just got to take that ass whooping. It's just going to have to be what happens. Doesn't mean I'm going to lose. It just means I have to take that ass whooping. Whether I want to or not, I'm going to have to take that ass whooping. And that's the difference maker between truth and a lie. Understand it's not where you're from. It's what you can do. And what you can do at the time is survive. Now, so I can end this video, I got 2 stories about the Army. 2. Don't worry. They're really short. First story is about the Army. We're 3 weeks into processing. On the 3rd week of processing, we had to go down range because we won't coming back to the processing spot. So after processing, we go down range, and I'm assigned to fucking Bravo, 4th platoon. Here's my belt, so I can tell you what it is. Because I was Father Time. In Old Dick in Delta, I was Old Dick, and I was Father Time in Bravo. And Bravo, I was 433 Bravo. And in Delta, I was 255 Delta. So 1st platoon that I was in was the 4th platoon in Bravo. That's why it's 433. And the 2nd platoon in Delta. That's why it's 255. I should play those numbers. Maybe I'll get lucky. Anyway, so get down to processing, and now we have to take 3 more weeks of classes. And so we're in class, and I'm not a liar. So there's a drill sergeant right there, and he's walking back and forth, and I'm looking at him. I'm asleep, totally fucking asleep. The guy on the stage is talking. I can still see him, but for some reason, like if I saw a motion, my eyes would follow the motion. But my eyes are open, but I'm asleep. I'm stone cold fucking asleep. I'm not snoring, but I'm stone cold asleep. I'm asleep, but I'm conscious enough to know that if I snore, it's gonna fuck it up. The guy next to me, gone, out like a light. I don't know, but the drill sergeant said, "Soldiers," and I popped up, and he's like, "Are you sleeping?" My dumb ass, "Yes, drill sergeant." It's like, "You? I'm not talking to you. Your eyes was open." I said, "That does not change the fact that I was asleep, drill sergeant." He's like, "What?" I said, "Yes, drill sergeant. I literally was asleep. I saw you moving. I hear him talking, but I was asleep." They're like, "How you do that?" I said, "Dude, I'm 37. You'd be amazed at the shit that I've been doing since I was a kid." He's like, "What?" I said, "Hey, sometimes you just fucking sleep with your eyes open." He's like, "Okay." So I'm sending him to the wall. "You want to go?" "Nope, but I'm going." And I had to go over to the wall. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. They made us do that shit in boot camp. And then after I got through that, while the guy was still talking, drill sergeant came to me. He's like, "Son, I know you're older than me, but how do you sleep with your eyes open?" And I told him, I said, "Man, I grew up in the projects, and I'm paranoid. I used to be scared of the dark for undetermined reasons. I didn't want to tell him that the witch rider was always attacking me. So I just told him I was scared of the dark. and I had to sleep with my eyes open because I was scared of the dark. And once or twice in our house in the project, somebody has literally broke in and crawled into my room. So I was scared of the dark. So that was the excuse I used. I didn't want to tell them that the supernatural shit was happening. So did that, and then we got through that, and then off with the 300 pounds on my back until my leg got fucked up, and that kind of ended my career before it could begin. And then in Delta, I was doing pretty good, and then my leg got re-injured. And now, I had to have a hip replacement because of all that shit. The doctors at Fort Benning dropped the fucking ball. The doctors at McGuire picked it up and saved my ass because I would be crippled this day if they didn't. Anyway, moving on to the last part of the double feature from Fort Benning. So Fort Benning has an infestation. It's not a really, really big infestation. They have roaches. They could fly. That was as big as the cell phone. It lived in the kitchen, like where we were getting processed. It didn't live in the kitchen down where our chow hall was at. But back at the main processing building, his name was Herbie. He lived in the kitchen. They wouldn't let me kill it. That's the end of that story. The story that I was trying to get to was the fire ants. All right. So this is it. I have no more stories. This was the color uniform we were wearing at the time in 2010. And so I'm at boot camp, and Drill Sergeant Armberg, we decided we're going to go and do flag duty because, again, I got fucked up. So I had to be on profile. And so we're folding up the flag. But before we fold up the flag, he has one guy at 10 seconds to 5 o'clock in the p.m. play taps. The evening music before we go in and do whatever night shows we have before 9 o'clock. But we're in the bed at 9 p.m. Period. No exceptions unless you're on fire guard. So we go do that, and in the process, I took the step where he was at, and it was like this, and we have to be like that while the drill sergeant lowers the flag. So while the drill sergeant is standing there, and he's like, "You have a problem, soldier?" And I said, "Yes, drill sergeant." And he's like, "Well, what's the problem?" I looked at him and I said, "Drill sergeant, you're not going to believe me if I tell you, because we're not supposed to break formation." And so I believe I was in parade rest and not the salute. But whatever, it doesn't really matter, because what does matter is that I had on these pants and these boots and these army socks. And not enough stopped the motherfucking fire ants from getting into my pants. At all. Now the good news was they stopped at my kneecap. The bad news was my whole leg was covered in the motherfuckers. So I happened to be standing on their house. I didn't know I was standing on their house. I found out though. I really found out. And I'm going to tell you right now. Don't put this shit on your fire ant bites. Not the best idea I had. And peroxide wasn't much better. It did not soothe it at all. But after we got the flag folded up, and my battle buddy came back out after the music stopped, and he's like, "Alright, look, this was going to happen. You two go back to the barracks right now, because Private Williams here has ants in his pants." Now, I had to cut that short because when I told him that if you look at my left boot, there is a fuck ton of ants on them. And if you look at my left pants leg, there's a fuck ton of ants on them. There had to be like maybe 100 or better ants on the outside of my pants and the inside of my pants. And so he made us go back to the barracks with a quick step. And whatever ants didn't fall off, when I got in there, I had to shake them some bitches off outside so that they wouldn't infest the damn barracks. So we had to shake them off outside, shake off my left boot, and get all that shit off. And then I had to jump out of my pants. And my battle buddy had to make sure we shook them again to make sure everything was out. And then we put the shit back on after I alcoholed my leg up. So, yeah. Fire ants, man. They are not fun. They are not good friends. They are not good pets. Do not have them. Thank you guys for watching. I love all 236 of you. Be seeing you. And don't think that fire ants are your friends. They are not your friends. They will never be your friends. They are mean.